He will also contribute if there's any information he needs.
Sure. Alright. So, thank you, Mr. Shah. I think, I personally think that this is kind of a treat to be listening to this kind of presentation, because I believe once in a while a great product comes into the market and it penetrates the market and it changes the market. And this is some kind of that kind of product which has the capability to change something, change the industries. In fact, I would like to personally call this that this is like the next generation of medical industry. And even if you go through this presentation today, you will sometimes agree with me if I say that this is kind of the next generation of business even. Now, before going into the real product, if we reflect on our life, ladies and gentlemen, as you will all agree with me, now, because of the innovations and inventions that are happening throughout the medical industry, because of the cures and medicines and everything, our lives are not getting better. In fact, we can agree with that. When we compare our lifespan or the capability for us to cure certain diseases compared to our parents and the previous generations, we are better, because that might be thanks to the modern medicine and the innovations that it has taken place. So it's all good. So we are having a beautiful life, we are having a fun life, we are having a great life, maybe better than our previous generations, our grandfathers and our fathers. But we have some certain problems that we have not yet focused a lot. For example, have a look at this. This is something, staggering news, which is again coming from the same body where this modern technology, modern medicine is coming from. WHO, World Health Organization, says that these are the top 10 causes of death worldwide. And if you focus on this, only the last element is not a disease, where all other 9 are diseases. Which means these 10 things are killing our people, our friends, our family and our loved ones. So out of 10, 9 are diseases. Heart disease, stroke are killing friends that we know. I mean, even if you take your family, there's a high tendency that some of our friends, some of our family members, some of our loved ones are having one of these things, and not only them, but also we suffer because of these things. So even though modern medicine is helping us, there are some untold stories about modern medicine. That's the hint that I get from this. And having said that, there's another untold story. These are numbers. Now WHO again says people who are aged above 65, there's a tendency to get certain types of diseases. These are numbers, these are statistics. For example, WHO says that 58% of aged population who are above 65 years old has hypertension. That's a trivial case. That's serious. And it says 27% of 65 plus our friends and our loved ones have diabetes. That's critical. And chronic obstruction, Alzheimer's, depression, these are diseases. These are some things, these are problems that our senior citizens or people who are above 65 are having. Now, if you actually do a little bit of calculation, you will find out that 80% of people who are above 65 has at least one of these 10 diseases. That's the statistic. And that is severe. 5, when you take 5 people, you have 4 people who has one of these 10, 80%. This is an untold story. Now, this figure in this red dots, my father, my grandmother, my relatives, my friends can be there. And even I can be there when I'm older than 65 years old. Which is a problem to the mankind. Now, what's the answer? That we have been talking, we have been researching for a very long time. And now we have heard from our school days that prevention is better than cure. We have all heard that. But what we have been doing is always cure, isn't it? When we have a problem, we go to our doctors, we go to our physicians, and we go for what we go for is cure. Because there's no option to prevent, because either we are too old or either some problems has already come to us and there's no going back. Now this is the point that we thought, what if we can actually go back to prevent? That would be marvelous. But that picture is something like magic. Going back is something like magic. So it feels like it's not something not doable. But having said that, some of the old Francis, the father of toxicology, Paracelsus, he says that any problem humankind is facing, the answers are already there in the nature. We all will agree with that. The answers are already there in the nature. And the science, the responsibility of the science is to bring about that secrets from the nature and fix it. And now today, the mankind or the science has found such wonderful creation of nature which has the answers to most of the problems that we are discussing. And we call it stem cell. Stem cell is one of the kind of the cells that our body has. You can even call it master cell. It's a cell that we can call a miraculous cell, a magic cell. Every one of us has that cell. So even our bodies, stem cells are there. It's a very simple thing. It can multiply itself and it can transform to any type of other cell in our body. So a stem cell can create blood, a stem cell can create brain, a stem cell can create a kidney, stem cell can literally create any other cell in the body. So we call it a master cell or a magic cell. Now, stem cells are within our body. What does it do? It does do only three simple things. It can rejuvenate our body. For example, you and me, we all have very healthy cells in our body. In fact, to tell you that there are 200 types of cells in our body. And we have healthy cells. That's why our eyes are bright. That's why we are walking. That's why the blood is flowing in our body. We have healthy cells. So these healthy cells can be rejuvenated by these stem cells. That's number one. And number two, when there are any dead cells in our body, there should be a mechanism to remove those dead cells and replace with new cells. That's what stem cells does. It can remove dead cells and it can create new cells for those dead cells. And if there are any damaged cells, stem cell can go to that damaged cell and repair those damaged cells. So it's actually valid to say that it's a magic cell. It can do three things. Simple 3 R's: rejuvenate, replace, and repair. Now this is all good until you see this. When you are born, ladies and gentlemen, you have a wide storage of stem cells in our body. So a newborn kid has lots of stem cells in their body. They can easily rejuvenate, they can easily repair, they can easily replace. Now the real problem starts when you become 18 years old, or when you are a teenager. The number of stem cells in our body drastically reduced to 10%. And when I'm 32, at the moment I'm 32, I'm here. Which means I have only 4% of the stem cells in my body when I was born 32 years ago. Which means, logically, my capability to rejuvenate my own body, the capability of my body to replace, and the capability of my body to repair has degraded up to 4%. So if I make some damage to my body cells, my capability to recover is 4% compared to where I was born. And the story continues if you go a little bit older. At age of 50, you have only 2.5%, and when you're age 80, it's just 0.5%. And when it reaches 0, we say goodbye to this world. That's why certain types of cancers are quite dangerous, because it attacks the stem cells and kills the stem cells. So when there's no stem cell in the body, there's no way of recovering, so we have to say goodbye to this world. So this is kind of alarming. Now, if this is alarming, now logically it tells me if there's a way that we can increase this. Imagine this is 4%, I'm 32, and if I can increase this amount up to here, I am just increasing my capability to recover, my capability to rejuvenate, and my capability to replace. That will be marvelous. So is there any other known ways of doing that? Yes, there are. Currently in the world there are that kind of methods that I can increase my own stem cells, thereby I can increase my capability to recover and replace and rejuvenate. But they are pretty expensive. One example is placenta injection, which happens in Switzerland. Placenta is what mothers have in the womb when they deliver a baby. In single we call it placenta. You can inject placenta because placenta is kind of a storage of stem cells. When a mother delivers a baby, generally doctors will remove this placenta, but it contains lots of stem cells. So what Switzerland does is they will take that and inject into our body so that our number of stem cells grow. So that seems good, but the only problem is it's pretty expensive. Even if it has come to Sri Lanka, we have heard in Lanka hospitals, one injection is around 18 lakhs to 20 lakhs, that's what we have heard, which is pretty expensive. And another great mechanism is cord blood banking, where if you take a country like Singapore and if you deliver a baby there, you can bank your stem cells or the baby's placenta in a bank, just like we save. So we will pay a premium amount and the bank will keep that or save that set of stem cells for a period of 25 years. So imagine you deliver a baby, the baby grows in the United States, and after 13 years the baby finds some problem in the liver. What the baby has to do is just travel back to Singapore, get the placenta, take the injection, done. Because it's his own placenta, it works. Now the problem with that is it's number one, expensive, or number two, you're already too late. For example, me and my wife has already had our first kid and I didn't know this at that time. So we are already too late. So I don't have any option. I don't have these options now. That's where this new company and new product comes into the market. This product that we are launching is an answer to these two problems, either it's too expensive or that we are too late. Now another company, which is Singapore based, has produced a new product which contains the live stem cells in a way that it can be swallowed just like a pill. And it's in the range that we can afford. And we call it Purtier Placenta by the company Rive. And before showing you the product, I want to emphasize three key technologies that the company is excelling. Now, mind you, we are talking about stem cells in a pill. Stem cell is a live cell. Our body has live cells. Now, one thing is live cells can't be put into a pill and packed in a bottle and distributed. You can't do that because it's a living organism. It's an animal. It's a basic form of life. Cell is a basic form of life. So you can't put a basic form of life in a pill and put it in a bottle and contain it into some other country. You can't do it. So you should have a mechanism, and that's where this freeze drying technology comes into the picture. It's actually self-explanatory. You will freeze the stem cell and it will dry it, and you will put it inside a pill so that it will remain bioactive for more than 3 years. So we have the guarantee that this pill that you have here, which comes in a bottle, if you may pass this is the product that we're talking about, and this pill will be bioactive for more than 3 years. And the next very important technology is nitrogen film. Now, we have heard of some effect in our school days called oxidization. When some material gets in connect with oxygen, it oxidates and some degradation happens. And the same thing can happen to the stem cells, which are live. So this pill, in this pill the oxygen is removed and nitrogen is filled so that it does not get affected by oxidation. And the final thing is the problem with our stomach. We all know that our stomachs are acidic. And when you take a pill, it generally reacts with the acid in the stomach area because it's pretty acidic. Now that's one of the problems in all the medicine that we take. It reacts at the acidic medium. Now in order to stop that, there's a special coating called enteric coating in every pill, and it will not dissolve in the acidic medium. Now what's wrong with acidic medium? The wrong thing or the problem with acidic medium is if a
certain pill is absorbed at the acidic medium, the absorption rate of the actual nutrients to the body is just 30%, 1/3. And if it passes the acidic medium and go to the alkaline medium, which is the last part of the stomach, which we call small intestine, the absorption rate there is 3 times more. So this coating ensures that the pill will withstand the acidic medium at the stomach and it will go to the small intestine and get absorbed there, which means 3 times faster absorption. That's the technology. Now, what does this pill has? Basically, it has live stem cells. So you are talking about a product which has live stem cells inside each cell. Is it okay enough? No. We have many more natural products in this particular pill. In fact, what you are holding is the 6th edition of this product. There have been continual improvements, research and development in this product, and by each edition of the product, this product gets equipped with more and more natural ingredients. So this is completely 100% natural. And what are the products? Natural things inside? It's in leaflet. You can have a look at this, and everything is completely natural. For example, it has apple, it has avocado, it has flowers, it has certain amino acids from fish oil. So it's all natural. And the stem cells that we are talking about comes from a very special type of a deer who is there in New Zealand. New Zealand is a very pollution-free country. And this stem cell that you're talking about comes from a deer's placenta. You might ask the question, why deer placenta? Now, the point there is the deer placenta is extremely equal to a human placenta, human stem cells. So the moment we take the placenta or the stem cell of a deer, it has the capability, it is a magical capability to turn into a human stem cell and create human brains, human blood, and human kidneys. That's the marvel, that's the magic that we're talking about. So this product that we are holding is the next generation of medicine, because now we are not talking about cure, we are talking about preventing something. We are talking about preventing aging. In fact, if you can say, you can go back and prevent certain things happening. Because you are not now giving medicine to a problem, but you are preventing that problem occurring. Let me tell you an actual story. My father-in-law, he used to brag about his way of living. He used to be a person who eat a lot and drink a lot for like 20 years. He was having a lot of fun in his life. And he was so proud to carry a briefcase of metformin. And he was using metformin for a very long time, but 3 years ago he got a stroke and he's now paralyzed. And he was still using metformin, and last month we got a notice from the doctor that his kidneys are starting to fail because of the high dosage of drugs that he has been using. That's the natural case of medicine. Because you know that if you start taking, there's no stopping, my friends. You have to take it again and again and again. The only thing that they will do is they will increase the dosage when things are not answered, just like antibiotics. Now, when we ask the question, is there an answer to the liver failure? The question was no. That's the ultimate level that modern medicine can go. After that, there's no answer. When the kidneys start falling, the only answer is either you do dialysis or you remove the kidney and feed new one. And we are speechless at that point, because at that point there is no going back. The only answer will be to just replace something, which sometimes certain families, certain friends are not affordable. They can't just simply do that. And that's the ultimate truth. The modern medicine, ladies and gentlemen, we can call that it has come to a certain point that it can't move from that point to the next level, next generation. So products like this will solve most of the existing problems. That's the product. Now, I said 2 things. You are in for a treat today. I will mention why you are in a treat for today. Now, this is the product information, but I said that this is the next generation of medical industry, and I said that this will be the next generation of business even. So let me take 1 minute of your precious time to describe why this will be the next generation of business. In fact, I have a list of frequently asked questions. I'll go to that